Hello?
Hey, how's it going? Jason, nice to meet you.
I'd love to talk to you guys, Wings, etc., about some of the positives about getting a corporate sponsorship with Indy 11.
Mm-hmm.
And first off, I wanted to go ahead and ask you if you had any questions based off your previous memos.
Well, first thing I want to start with is that we have sponsored sponsored other Indiana teams. So why should we sponsor or advertise with Indy 11 versus any other Indy area sports team?
Indy 11 has something different than the Colts or the Pacers or the Indians, any of the teams, or maybe an Indy 500 type of venue. It has something different than those, and that's on the rise. Colts and the Pacers are pretty well established, even though there's some rumors the Pacers might not be here for very long, so that's always something you should look out for. And the Colts and the Indy 500 are both just incredibly established, and people know what to expect out of those. But with the Indy 11, we are going to be, in the next couple of years, joining the MLS. And just in the past few years, we've gone from the third-rate league in American soccer all the way. We're going to be one of the newer teams. And we're looking to build a park in the Indy area that is more than just a athletic center, but it's going to be kind of a community, give that kind of aspect to it. And so there's a lot of bright things coming for the Indy 11, and we think that's something that not all of the other teams in the area can represent.
I understand that Indy 11 is a growing team. So how many years do you think it'll take for you guys to get on the big stage of MLS so that more people would see our advertisements?
We are looking to build the stadium in 2020. It should be within the next 2 to 3 years. We're still working out complete details, but it'll be very soon. And Indy 11's their popularity has been growing and growing. You go to their games. They don't seem like they fill up Luke's Oil, but the crowd always seems lively, and people who enjoy Indy 11 really do enjoy it, so they already have a rock-solid fan base before we make it to the MLS.
All right, so most of the time at our locations, people, whenever they're coming, they're watching sports, they always request to watch basketball or football. What do you think? Why would you think soccer is going to help us out? Do you think that people would start coming in and they see our ads at these games and start wanting to watch that instead of other sports?
Yeah, I definitely, when I think of a wing place, especially in the U.S. and the Midwest more than anything, I'm thinking of watching football and basketball, stuff like that. But this might bring in a different crowd than you guys are normally getting, which might be a huge thing that you don't think about, is soccer isn't necessarily the most popular one,
For sure.
Especially in the area. But it's definitely gaining in popularity, and I think it would kind of give you guys a different customer base to appease to and bring in those people who will eventually see Wings, etc., as a place where they can come and watch soccer and kind of have like a community feeling.
So with football, it's kind of limited for the number of what days they play. Obviously, they play on Sundays, Mondays, Thursdays. Yeah. That's their big times. What days do soccer Indy 11 usually on? Is it the same day every week, or is it something that's different to where we can bring in
it's a weekend
more business?
It's a weekend thing.
Is it a Saturday? Is it?
Yeah, it's both Saturday, Sunday. Okay. Games kind of depend on the schedule, but it's an end of the week thing. So you will have a time where there'll be a lot of people who won't be working, and that will give you opportunities to, especially because it's more of a year-round sport. In the terms of it kind of seems like it never ends. In a sense, there's a shorter off season, but it's a pretty long regular season. So that's something you can consistently depend on, is having soccer fans constantly looking for games.
How will I be able to see my return on investment?
That's one of those things where you could look at it from we're going to bring people in directly through games, through wins, or like McDonald's does, I know, with the Colts. They win or they get a touchdown, you get a free Big Mac or something if you mention the game.
Gotcha.
You can do some stuff like that, or you can do other somewhat indirect marketing campaigns to accompany, see how many people seem to be affected by the game that are going to want to come in.
Okay. Well, how have other sponsors that are in the restaurant industry been positively impacted by it or being sponsored by you guys?
We've had some great success with people, especially because, like all sports, sports get people to drink and eat. So
That's what we like.
So those are some things that kind of giving when people will go to the game, they will see the logos, and that kind of just gives them like a name recognition that when they decide, hey, let's go out and go get something to eat and let's watch a game.
Right.
Kind of puts the two hand in hand.
Okay. What does the growth of the Indy 11 forecast right now look like?
It looks strong. The area, the Midwest in general, is kind of showing a surprising increase in soccer. Cincinnati just recently got a team. Columbus will be losing their team, but there's one in Chicago, and they're kind of looking around for other ones. There's a lot of growth opportunity for soccer in the Midwest. You kind of don't necessarily expect that out of the Midwest, but there's a lot of people.
Do you know why the team in Columbus is leaving? Is it because they're moving on to a different league, or
they are going to stay in the same league, but it's an ownership thing. I believe the owners are from Texas.
Okay, so it's not a market-based issue.
It is.
So it wouldn't be something that would be relative to Indy 11.
Yeah, no, it's nothing. They didn't have this strong of a market.
So with that being said, do you think the owners of Indy 11 are wanting to stay for sure in long term?
Yeah, because part of that is there's not necessarily an established Chicago Fire. They're a team, but they're kind of more up north. Cincinnati, like I said, it's pretty new. This is their first year.
For sure.
So there's not a ton of established fan bases in the area, so there's still a pretty large market to try to bring in crowds and fans for the team.
All right, well, I have one more question. What kind of features are included if I were to buy a corporate sponsorship?
That kind of depends on how much you guys would like involvement in it. Obvious like billboards or big signage within the stadium. You can sponsor a little break in the action events like during halftime. There's just a lot of different ways we can incorporate it based off what you guys are most comfortable doing or what you guys think would be the most impactful. We have a lot of different options to choose from.
Is there a situation I know in basketball games that happens where they do like media timeouts and they do like little activities with fans that get them interactive and get them wanting to come to the games? Is there a sponsorship package where we could, during halftime or during some type of timeout, get like a fan out there and do like a Wings Etc. PK kickoff or something? Yeah,
we definitely would look to make that happen. It's harder in soccer than it is in like football, basketball, baseball per se, because those are not as much basketball, but the other two are very stop and start games, but even basketball has quite a bit of stoppage time. Soccer does not have quite
so there's not as many media timeouts.
There's not as many opportunities for that, but there is still opportunities to get people involved before the middle of the game. Different
for sure.
Creative wise, we can look to make some opportunities.
Awesome. Well, I am very intrigued, and I think we'll get a hold of you within the next couple of days.
All right. Thank you very much.
Nice meeting you, Kirk.
Good to meet you.